Hello and welcome everyone back once again to BPRL Weekly. Sorry we missed you last week. We're busy people, but we are back for another episode. I know you all missed us. It's myself, Matt, as always, and Stu is with me once again.
Good evening.
And we have a guest today. He's going to be with us for the whole thing here. He's our star commentator. He's probably every league's star commentator. It's Mr. Broomhandle.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Now that I'm here at BPRL for a podcast, really excited to take a look at what kind of went over. Love this league. Love commentating for it. And
Yeah, well, I mean, you've hit the big time coming on BPRL Weekly. I can't lie. You've really hit the big time coming in.
We'll see you on FNTV next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, see you in Bahrain. Right, gentlemen, because we missed a week, we're going to start off with a quick review of the Styrian Grand Prix Round 2. So Hiddy got pole position this time ahead of Zero, who actually only qualified 12th. Was that a bit of a shock to see him qualify that far back?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he was like the week before. He was on pole. You know, he said he could go faster, and seeing him turn up in 12th place, it was probably the biggest shock of qualifying, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Yeah, it was very shock to see Zero down there because, of course, he's a very quick driver, as we all know. But I think his pace in the race was incredible. He was able to, of course, go up to P4 in the race, so I think it paid off in the end.
Yeah, he definitely
Yeah.
gained a lot. We'll talk about the gainers. So obviously Zero coming from 12th up to 4th, nearly getting himself on that podium. But there's a lot of big gainers from last week. Bavesiev from 19th to 6th, Reflection from P20 to P7, huge drive from the Haas driver. Fiscal from P15 to P8, and Luke 2 Red from P18 to P9. So a lot of the guys further down the grid done quite well last week.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say with Fiscal recovering to 8th, I mean, myself and Del had an incredible battle towards the end of the race with him. I mean, there was so much action on track. I don't think there was much of it caught, but yeah, if you stick up my highlights on the screen now, you'll see it was just literally every single lap. There was overtakes galore for like 12 laps. And it was brilliant. Kind of made up for the fact that I messed up the race.
Well, yeah, things happen. Yeah, and I was gonna say kind of the same thing. Echo Disco's words there. It's basically that field that you mentioned there, of those drivers just coming through the field was a very big masterclass of a drive to just come back from a difficult qualifying to an absolutely beautiful race. I remember commentating on that particular Grand Prix, and I was just amazed with how excellent driving those drivers were able to do, and their end result, of course, was amazing.
It was a fantastic race.
Definitely worth a rewatch on the stream that we've got posted in the description below.
Yep, nice plug, nice plug.
That's what I'm here for, mate. That's what I'm here for.
That's what we're here for. We plug everything. No, yeah, it's like you've both said. It was a very entertaining race. I think BPRL always produces very entertaining races. Whether they're good or bad, that's to be decided. But they are always entertaining. But the podium we had TKM King finishing on the top step, Hiddy finishing second, and Headshot the Sea coming back from a DNF in round 1 to finishing on the third step. But King, a very good debut in the league, the reserve driver, sorry.
Yeah, no, it was a great drive. Myself and Twig have raced him before, and he's aggressive, but he's definitely got the pace, and he showed it. He showed it in Styria.
Yeah, he really did. I was actually really surprised to see a reserve driver come through just to win, to win. So he's got some pace. I mean, I've seen him in some other leagues as well. He's got some incredible pace that he has showed to put on some great performances. It's just really cool to see reserve drivers taking the win, showing that full-time drivers are absolutely incredible. Of course, they have that much experience from previous Grand Prix, but there's also, it shows how these drivers can come from not that much practice of being called up kind of last-minute situation to be able to take good results.
Yeah, I mean, the strength and depth in this league is probably one of the best for a single league format. For me, I mean, reserves coming in can change the game, and you just don't really know what's going to happen, which is why we love it.
It's very open field this season. It's one of the most competitive fields we've had. Not necessarily the fastest out there league-wise, but it's not all about the fastest league. Like, you just want some good competition at a nice even level. So we definitely got that in Styria. It was a very entertaining race. I think Broom, you and Merrin and Luke all had a lot of fun commentating on that one.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun, as it always is each race. That in particular race was just a lot of fun, if I remember correctly. Just having a blast with the boys there commentating. But yeah, absolutely incredible race that was at the Styrian Grand Prix. It's also, I think, what's interesting about that particular race, and you don't see it very often in leagues, I think that was so interesting about how BPRL came into it, was the style of putting in a second race, because of course round one was Austria, and then the second race was Styria. So I think a lot of the drivers had experience from the first race that brought into the second race, and of course it made that one very impressive as well.
Exactly, yeah. Like, drivers were able to correct on mistakes from the previous week, or they had the weeks worth of experience there already, so they had,
or in my case,
the knowledge.
just repeat them.
Or just repeat them. I think Stu had Austria within 10 days, 3 times within 10 days.
Yeah, 3 times in 10 days.
So Stu definitely got a lot of practice. But it didn't really pay off though, did it, Stu?
I'll be honest, I'm glad to see the back of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see the back of the Styria Grand Prix. It was a very entertaining Grand Prix. We'll have on your screen now the standings after that race and after all the stewards' reviews. I think I said Stewart then. We don't have... Yeah. Let's move on.
I'm on your mind. Yeah, let's move on.
It's late. Hungary Grand Prix. So this was the latest round, the third round of the season 2.5, and I don't think I need to describe this one other than mental, to be honest.
I think two words will describe it really for me. Safety car.
That's very good. That is very good.
I mean, I've never seen a 50% race with more than 3 safety cars. I didn't think it was allowed.
It's insane.
To have five safety cars. I mean, I caused the first one, so I had nothing to do with the rest of it. But no, it was an insane situation.
Yeah, that was one of the best races I've ever seen. And not just BPRL, but league racing. I had so much fun commentating that. And the big thing that hit me was because Hungary, I was going into the Hungarian Grand Prix. Every time I go into Hungary, I know that it's a great track, but there's not that much action. That's just a fact. But this race brought so much action to it that was so unpredictable, and I think that's one of the reasons why it brought in a lot of attention to it, because it was so incredible. And there was just so much that happened. Like we mentioned, 5 safety cars. I have never seen that before in one league race. I mean, like, That was absolutely insane. And the results, my goodness, don't even get me started on that. That was incredible to see these drivers come through from not having that big of points in previous rounds to having mega points.
Yeah, I mean, I think the safety cars really worked out for the winner. Fiscal grabbing his first win of season 2.5. You know, defending champion, hasn't had the best of starts, but his strategy with the safety car, staying out on the hard tyres on a track that's not really known for overtaking, paid off, and congratulations to him. He made it work for him.
He did. He really did. I mean, the safety cars were just, like, Cody's, come on. I thought it was 3 max safety cars. What's going on? But let's be honest, they're focusing on the next game. They're done with this one, I reckon. But yeah, it was one of the most mental races I've ever seen. Just safety cars just coming out of nowhere. I think there was 3 within the last, like 10, 12 laps, something like that. It's just stupid, but you are correct.
It wasn't as if everyone was being dirty. I mean, yeah, we had a lot of steward inquiries, but at the same time, it wasn't because of people crashing each other out or anything like that. It just happened,
Yeah, they were just like
the perfect storm.
Yeah, it was just people with their own mistakes, or not even like much at all. I think there was one that came out where you were all like, why is that out? It's just unbelievable.
Exactly.
But
I mean, when I was in the commentary box, I was just like, what is this? I mean, 2 or 3 was okay. The first incident and then the second incident, both were actual incidents. I can understand why there was 2 safety cars, but then it started repeating, and I started noticing that it's just like another safety car. No way that's because of an incident. And then we realized that one of the incidents was because of maybe someone spinning or something like that. It was that not big of a deal. And that's when the safety car came out. A little bit of glitch, but it made things interesting, of course.
It definitely did.
It did. So the fastest guys on the track was actually Big Boy Dewan, Hiddy, Zero. These were the guys that were fighting it out. But there were penalties there, and suddenly the safety cars jumbled the order around. And you suddenly had 3 guys at the lower end of the point scoring positions trying to get themselves up to the front. And it was just every safety car restart. You had a few laps to try and gain those positions. And then another safety car came out. And ultimately it just stopped them from getting up there. And that's where Let's Get Fiscal obviously won the race. No penalties at all. That's obviously helped him throughout his racing career.
Isn't it? Yeah,
it is
trademark.
Keeping clean. That's what he does, making sure he's got decent pace, and he is the new Mr. Consistent for us. But it worked out as well for CRX Mars, another reserve driver picking up P2, and Big Baguette. I think am I right in saying he didn't have penalties as well? Yeah, he didn't have penalties as well, so he gained from that as well, and ended up on the podium. So it's a podium of names we've seen before, but not ones you'd expect in this season.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, yeah, that's what late safety cars do, even if it is like 5 of them. But yeah, they jumble up orders, they make the last few laps interesting, no one holds back, and it just made for great racing. And again, if you haven't seen it, where have you been? It's down in the description below.
Oh, Stu, you're just plugging away. Yeah, I mean the big winners. Once again, Kyle, that's P4 from P16. Luke 2 Red, again gaining massively, P17 to P5. So these 2 really benefited, as well as Worry Cloud 15th to 9th. Who impressed you in this race? I mean, it was a hard race to follow, but who sort of picked the strategy well, who pitted under the right safety car, and who was your driver of the day for that one?
For that particular Grand Prix, there was a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of drivers impressed me. It was absolutely incredible to see. But I think for me, the big driver that got out of that was Let's Get Fiscal, our race winner, of course. He hasn't had that much luck for the first 2 races, but he really impressed with that strategy. And like you guys said, his mark of not getting penalties really helped him out today. And I think that's really something that really helped out. Another driver to talk about, another driver to mention here that I actually I didn't realize at the end of the race that he finished here, and it was a great position, was Luke Red from, I think it was, 17th to 5th position.
Yeah.
That is a big result for the Alfa Romeo driver, and I think that's going to really bring him to some great results, and that's what I think is so great about league racing, and particularly this in particular race. Drivers maybe like Kyle and Luke Red are really going to take that result home, and they're going to be like, where can I get more? Can I get more results like that? And I think that's going to bring in contenders like that to a very, very exciting championship fight that is, who knows where anyone can finish. It's going to be that interesting, so really can't wait for all that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, big losers would be our team, AlphaTauri. Obviously, I DNF'd with a bit of a heavy crash. But then Zero as well, started on pole again, couldn't hold on to it, he finished 8th. So for me, yeah, biggest losers were AlphaTauri and Zero for both championships.
Yeah, it's not for AlphaTauri, it's not been a great start to the constructors. Ferrari though, big points, 2nd and 3rd. Although actually Mars is a reserve, so unfortunately won't be getting those points. But Big Baguette did pick up 3rd, so he'll be getting those. But yeah, that is. Please, honestly, like, I know people say rewatch races and stuff, but honestly, you honestly want to rewatch this race. It's like, and with Broom, Luke and Merrin on the comms as well, it just made it even more mental. It's just go in the description and click the link and you can watch it all back. It just twists and turns everywhere.
Yeah. From 3 wide in turn 1 to Dewey nearly losing it on the final corner of the last lap. Just chock-a-block.
Exactly, from start to finish. So that was the Hungarian Grand Prix. We could talk about that race for hours, but we haven't got hours. So, next race is Silverstone. Track that has a few places that we can lose some drivers. But let's have some top 3 predictions. Who wants to take the shot first?
Go on, I'll let you go first because I haven't got a clue.
All right. Now you're putting all the pressure on me.
That's what I'm good at, mate.
Think, yeah. It's really, really unpredictable. I mean, like, the Hungarian Grand Prix that we just had really showed us that anything can happen. But if I were going to go off of consistency, I'd probably say Verhitte for the win. I mean, he's been very consistent. We know how quick he is. The Hungarian Grand Prix, that was a totally different Grand Prix, so can't really take exactly what pace is what. So I'd go for Verhitte for the win. For second place, it's really, really difficult to know exactly who can get who can be able to get a good result. I think it's got to be a very close battle between Zero and Big Baguette. Both are very good drivers. There's a few other names in there that I could probably put. So I'd probably go Zero for P2 and Big Baguette for P3. Both drivers very consistent. Zero didn't have the best result at Hungary. It did make a little mistakes, but then again, Hungary that was a totally different Grand Prix. But we know how quick these drivers can be, and I mean, like, that's just my opinion over my top 3, I guess, for predictions, because I'm not even sure exactly if that's going to be how the race is. I mean, we'll find out when the race hits, but it's really, really unpredictable, and that's what makes the Grand Prix so entertaining as well.
For sure, they're good. They're good they're good guesses. To be fair, they're good
Yeah.
predictions. I'm not going to deny that. Stu, what do you think?
I mean, like I said, it's hard to look past Hidde. He's been the most consistent. I mean, yeah, not the greatest race in Hungary, came sixth, but still safety car messed everything up for him. So kind of said that with a pinch of salt. I think calling him for the win, yeah, I'd probably back it up as well. But I mean, big boy Jew, and I've seen him around Silverstone. He's got pace around there.
Mm.
So I mean, if I had to call podium now, I might go either Jew and P1 and 2. And I'm just gonna throw in a random headshot for number 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The way he came back from Styria in race 2, um, yeah, I mean, brilliant result. It showed the pace that he has got, um,
Yeah.
and it comes back to that word consistency again. If he can tie it all together and stay out of trouble and qualify well from the start, then he has a chance. You know.
Yeah, he's improving. We know he's got the pace. He was definitely one of our outside sort of shots for potentially win the championship. I'm
Mm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go big boy Doohan because I think he's very strong around Silverstone. I'm gonna go. Let's get Fiscal for P2.
Okay.
So I think people will pick up a lot of penalties around there.
Yeah, that's a
And
good point.
I'm also going to go headshot for P3.
Ah,
I think he'll have a comeback drive again because I think he DNF'd here at Hungary, so I think he's going to be an on and off season for him. So I think he'll come
mm.
back for a P3 there. Um,
I've deliberately left AlphaTauri out because every time I say something, it's wrong. So I don't want to let the comms guys down because the last 2 races I've looked back and they've been like, oh, this Disco's doing really well, a chance for podium, and then I literally next lap I blow it. So I apologise now to you guys for backing me, but but no, we'll keep my name out of our mouths for now.
yeah, let's hope that tactic works. Let's hope that tactic works. Fingers crossed. Um,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, those are the predictions. Quickly before we wrap things up, Broom, what races left in the calendar are you looking forward to commentating on? What ones sort of tickle your pickle, if you will?
Oh my goodness, there's so many races that I'm looking forward to. But out of the calendar, I just have to do this because I love the circuit. I gotta say the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium, the Belgian Grand Prix.
Mm,
That's always been my favorite Grand Prix. That's my favorite circuit ever in every circuit I've seen. That one in Monza. Monza always brings home a very interesting race. If I remember the correct name, the Circuit Autodromo Nazionale di Monza circuit in Italy, of course.
Yeah,
So
something
for
like that.
those two, I'd probably say those two I'm really, really excited for, as well as the Bahrain circuits. I mean, that's gonna be that's gonna be so fun. It's just gonna be a absolute master race because Bahrain always brings us some great racing,
it
and I
does,
think
yeah.
that's going to be. I think that we're going to see some interesting racing there. So if I was going to say for the racing, I'd say probably Bahrain is going to be the most exciting race. But then again, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, you never
Interesting.
know. And the short track will be very interesting. I've heard different opinions. I've heard that some league races have not been great there, but some have been absolutely mental.
Mm.
Oh
So
yeah,
we'll look forward to seeing that. And then obviously after this round, we got the Island GP, which is the Silverstone Short, so that'll be interesting as
Yeah.
well. And finally, Broom, can we have a Drivers' Championship prediction and a Constructors' Championship prediction?
oh, it's really really close because I mean like there's been so many consistent drivers out there. I mean, I know there's just it's so this league is so amazing when it comes to the driver lineups and these drivers. it's really hard to see who can take home the championship. I think it's going to be like a 2008 battle or 2007. I think that's more an accurate prediction, where it was like 1 point difference. I think that's how close it's going to be for the championship, because it's that close. It's just going to be absolutely incredible. I'm going to kind of mix it up here. I'm going to go for Verhitte for the championship, because if you look at his pace, he's been very consistent. I think that he's going to be able to take home the championship. Now, this is a little different from Racing Point, of course, but I'm going to say Ferrari for the Constructors' Championship. And if I'm not mistaken, they were Constructors' Champions last season, if I'm not mistaken.
They were.
Right.
So I'm going to say them again, because if you just look at their lineup, Big Baguette and Bavessier, both incredible drivers. And I think that lineup right there, I think they're going to really push each other, because they're very, very good drivers, both of them. They're now in one team together, and I think they're really, really going to be consistent when it comes down to getting those points on the table to be able to take home the Constructors' Championship. But there's so many other teams out there that could possibly do the same with some incredible lineups. Well, I just can't wait to see what happens, but that's my prediction.
They're good predictions. I can't lie. I do have a bit of news on that though. Bavessier is dropping to a reserve.
Oh, but Bavessier is dropping to reserve.
He is dropping to a reserve. So,
Breaking news.
Big Baguette. Yeah, that is BPRL world exclusive news right here. So yeah, Big Baguette will be getting a new teammate. We don't know who it's going to be yet. It's all decided by a wheel. But you'll find out come Thursday's race in Britain. So keep an eye out for who's in the Ferrari. But yeah, if it was Big Baguette and Bavessier still, that is a very good prediction, to be fair, but we don't know who his teammate is, so that prediction might be up in the air, Broom.
I know. Now I'm thinking I probably should have done my research before. But yeah, now that that's changed, if you don't mind, I might want to change that.
Go for it.
That prediction. I'm thinking there's so many drivers out there that could put on an amazing result. It's so close, but I'm gonna go big here. I'm gonna say, and I don't want to say this, and it's not gonna turn out.
I know what it's gonna be,
because I don't want to jinx anything. But and I don't know if I even want to say it, because I don't want to jinx anything. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say Scuderia AlphaTauri for the Constructors' Championship.
Why? Why have you done that?
I know, I told you I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to jinx anything. No pressure.
But you just went and did it anyway.
I did, yes.
You did.
Stu.
Well, yeah, I'm on 1 point after the first 3 races.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
but I know how quick you can be. I know how quick you can be. And I know how quick your teammate can be, too. And so...
Okay.
With that, hopefully, with that confidence, maybe you guys can pull it off, because I don't know. I just have a feeling about that one, but
okay,
that's just mine.
There you go, world exclusive.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dream's gone mad.
I have gone mad.
No, I mean, yeah, like people were saying before the season that myself and Zara had a chance. I need to hold up my end of the bargain, quite bluntly, to make that happen. But, Britain, strong track. Spain, strong for me. People don't like it, but I actually really love it. Yeah, there's some decent tracks on here, so you never know. You might have just called it out of nowhere.
Well, Stu,
Yes.
good luck in Silverstone with that on your back now.
Yeah,
No pressure, Stu.
I'm going to get the stream up and I'm going to listen to you. And every time you mention my name, I'm going to pray that I don't jinx it.
Sounds like a deal.
Well, I think and on that note, we'll end things there. Broom, is there any last comments you want to say before we sign off on this episode?
Any more bombshells want to drop?
I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me. Always a thriller to come in here and have some jokes with you guys and talk about the season upcoming and some other stuff as well. I'm not sure about bombshells. Maybe that I can announce that I'll be commentating for BPRL for this season and hopefully next as well. That's the biggest bombshell I can do.
Yes.
But yeah,
Bombshell
really
we needed.
hopefully. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. Always a pleasure to do this. Viewers, you can tune in on the BPRL channel for the commentary. Super excited to be doing that. Hopefully I'll be commentating next week. I think my schedule is cleared, so I'll be hopefully doing that. And just super excited to see what happens at the end of the season, because it's going to be one hell of a fight.
Yes, plug. It is going to be one hell of a fight. We thank you, Broom, for the commentary so far, and for the commentary you will be doing for us in the future. So thank you, and thank you for coming on the episode.
Of course.
Everyone watching, Broom's YouTube and Twitter is in the description. He does great commentary, great content. Check him out. He's definitely a good watch, and he's got the commentator's voice, so what's not to love? What's not to love about Jonah Ray? Anyway.
And he drops bombshells.
Good bombshells.
Apparently I do.
Good bombshells. But that's a wrap on this episode. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. What else should they do, Stu?
They should tune in on our BPRL channel every Thursday. This week we have Britain, Silverstone. Do not miss it, because if the last two races have been anything to go by, you're in for a cracker. Just calling that now.
You are in for a cracker. Make sure you also follow us on Twitter at BPRLPS4. Like this video, and see you all on Thursday. You have no excuses. 8:30 p.m. We'll be there. Broom will be there. Thank you for watching this episode. Have a lovely day, evening, morning, whenever you're watching. Goodbye.